Hello again everyone, I'm Jamie and welcome back to TrikBrix. Today we're going to continue our Adventurers Retrospective series by taking a look at not one, not two, but three sets from the Jungle subtheme. Each of these was released in 1999, and even though I skipped over most of the very small sets in Season 1, since none of them really caught my fancy, I feel like each of these are worthy inclusions to the collection. So let's get started, beginning with 5901 River Raft, which contains 19 pieces, one minifigure, and retailed for either $2 or $4.50. I've seen conflicting reports on this, so if any of you guys have an old Shop at Home catalog from 1999, let me know for sure in the comments. It was also designated set number 5902, which was identical but came in a poly bag instead of a box. The build for the raft is simple enough, comprised mainly of this 6x6 plate and two 1x6 bricks, all in the old brown. But adding just a sliver of complexity to the raft is this rudder using a red oar element. It's built on a hinge brick so you can raise and lower it, and thanks to this clip on a 1x2 jumper, you can also swing the oar side to side. You could even unclip this if you wanted to use it as a proper paddle on some of the calmer Amazonian tributaries. But I think the real draw to this little set is the amount of cool accessories you get. A rifle, a pickaxe, a bundle of printed dynamite, a yellow gemstone, a treasure map, and one of the coolest elements to come out of the Adventurers theme, a working backpack that can be used to store small items. And just to spice things up a bit, we also get a red snake. That's a lot of accessories for a set of this size. Of course, we need someone to man the raft, and that's where Rudo Villano's mean mug comes in. There weren't any variations of him throughout the series, so what you see is what you get as far as he goes. One of the baddest looking bad guys in all of LEGO. This has about everything you'd want in a polybag size set, and if you're just starting your Adventurers Jungle collection, it would be an excellent, inexpensive place to begin. Next in line is 5905 Hidden Treasure, aka 1271 Jungle Surprise. Again, the two versions are identical, but this time they both came in boxes, so I'm not really sure why 1271 exists. If you know, be sure to leave a comment. Anyway, it's made up of 33 pieces, includes one minifigure, and only costs $2 when it hits shelves. And for that price, it's hard to go wrong here. Once again, we get a single minifigure, but this time it's one of our heroes, Miss Gale Storm. She's dressed in the same jungle getup we saw in Spider's Secret, and just like Rudo Villano, there's only one version of her in the jungle subtheme. For the original MSRP, it would have been easy to skimp on accessories, but the selection here is pretty great. The functional backpack, a rifle, the treasure map, a yellow gemstone, and two creatures of the jungle. A spider and a snake. One more very important accessory is also included, but to see that, we need to take a look at this small shrine. The build is simple, but sufficient. It's topped off with a sword leaf that kinda droops over the gemstone, which is mounted horizontally on a headlight brick. And then there are a few arch bricks and some tiles here, a perfect place for the snake to lie in wait. A pair of leafy greens stand guard at the front to give us just a hint of jungle undergrowth. And finally, we have a bit of a play feature here. The top section of the shrine is actually built on hinges, so you can open it up to reveal a sun disk. Believe it or not, nowadays this element alone can go for several times the original retail price of the entire set, so you can never have too many of them. There's so much value here, I wouldn't have been able to pass this one up back in '99. Not to mention, it fits right in with the rest of the jungle shrines. Speaking of which, we've got this guy right here, 5906 Ruler of the Jungle. The last set of this triple feature, it contains 24 pieces, one minifigure, and again, retailed for $2 in the US. There's not a whole lot going on with the build here, just a small statue of colorful bricks on a 4x4 green plate, and a spider thrown in for good measure. You don't even get a proper gemstone here, just a trans red stud on top. But the real reason any kid I know would have wanted this was for the minifigure. That's right, for just $2 you could have been the proud owner of the mighty jungle monarch Achu, one of the coolest minifigs LEGO has ever produced in my opinion. Today, in decent used condition, he can cost $10 to $20 alone. And he's got a spear with him, garnished with a red and blue feather. As I mentioned, I skipped over the polybag style sets in Season 1 because as a whole they were pretty lackluster. But the Jungle Wave was a different story. Each of these are useful in their own right as far as collection building goes, and they all have something fun to offer. That said, I wouldn't consider any of these absolute must-haves unless you're trying to complete the series. Even though they offer some really cool elements, there's nothing exclusive here that you can't get in the larger sets. And unfortunately, you're probably not going to find these for their respective original retail prices. River Raft and Hidden Treasure both seem to hover around $10 used, and due to the value of a chew, this one is closer to $20. But if you can find any of these for what you would consider a good deal, don't hesitate to pick it up. Or if you already have the minifigs, you could go the route I took and bricklink the remaining pieces together, which shouldn't cost more than a few bucks for each set. But that's all I've got for you today. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to click that thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We've only got one episode to go in the Jungle series, and I'll bet you guys can guess what it is. Should be a fun look at a pretty sought after set. But until then, this has been Jamie for TrikBrix. As always, thanks for watching, take care, and play well!